Good evening, everyone. This is Emerald Calhoun coming from Emerald City Live. What's going on in Emerald City? I'm here making this video tonight because I have made a commitment with myself to make one video per week about what's going on in Emerald City. The direction of my offerings will eventually be a podcast, but this is one way that I can really activate myself. So I wanted to make sure I upheld this commitment to myself. It is 11:53 Central Standard Time, so I'm trying to do it before 12 o'clock, just to uphold what I said for myself. And that's just one of the things that I've been putting in my post about self-love. The self-love starts with you. It starts within you. The goals that you have for your life, your desires, things that you want to accomplish, you make those commitments with yourself, not with anybody else. Make that commitment with your soul. And one of the things for me this week has just been very heavy. It's been rough because of people are having a rough time out here. I've had a couple of deaths that have happened with friends. I have found out a couple of friends that are dealing with depression and anxiety, and everyone's kind of going through some things, and it just makes me a little sad inside that people are really struggling. You know, I began to struggle a little bit with some guilt inside because one of my friends that passed that I've known for 20 years, Dante Hall, and I haven't seen him probably for about 10 years, and he's had a restaurant. I said, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go over to his restaurant. Even one of my girls had an event over at the restaurant, and I couldn't get to it. But now he's not here. And, you know, these are some of the things that could happen that create a mental shift in you that goes off of God's plane. Any thought pattern that puts you into guilt, shame, depression is not of God. And so today I'm coming here to charge you with cultivating the garden of your mind by allowing only the highest vibrations to remain in your mental garden. Be careful of the stories you're telling yourself. We sometimes have made up a story that does not exist. And this story is making us spiral down into a place that we do not want to be. We go down a rabbit hole of despair. And then when we're not checking these thoughts and emotions, we find ourselves deep into a depression. Or we find ourselves messing up excellent relationships due to the stories that we are telling ourselves. I had a situation where I'm starting to play the violin again, and I had a gig, and there was just something that just irritated the mess out of me. And so triggers are here to show you where there's healing still that needs to happen. It's not meant for you to point at somebody for what, because they triggered you. They were blessed enough to trigger you. You know, we have to shift our mind. It is time for us to shift our mental state of being. One of my friends told me how do you shift when you're in the midst of an anxiety attack or depression? And one tool that I can leave you with is just combat it with words. If something comes up into your mind that's not of God, you can just easily say, I do not subscribe to that story anymore. And you could keep telling yourself this as many times as you possibly need to say it. I do not subscribe to this story anymore. As soon as it comes up, it pops up. My friends do not love me. I do not subscribe to this story anymore. And I've used it and it actually works. And I actually have other techniques that I will be teaching in my money yoga course that helps you to just use shamanic practices of supporting yourself through times that you've made stories up that have created an intense emotion. Because that's what happens. You make the story and then you have this intense emotion which throws off your energy. And guess what? That could be throwing off an energy for God's blessing, because we're tied to the story and the emotion when you got God's blessing over here. This story and the emotion is not tied to God's blessing. Anything that's not of a high value, a high vibration, love, like I've been talking about, just keeping the love vibration going on, is not of God. And so anytime that you're over here on this side paying attention to things that are not of God, we are missing blessings that are on this side that are of God. So I would like to charge you with changing your mindset. I remember I had one friend who I talked to when I was going through kind of a low period in my time, and he told me that he never subscribed to those thoughts. And I was just like, I never practiced that. I didn't understand about how to practice that. So I would like to give you a practice and share with me if you were able to overcome some things. It may not happen in a day, but it might take a week or it might take 2 weeks, where you can catch your thoughts. Cut those thoughts off. As soon as that word comes in, here we go again, just cut it off. Do not allow the thoughts to exist in your garden, your mental garden. So that's all I have today. This is Emerald City from Emerald City Live, and I'm just wishing you all just so much love, everything that you desire to manifest and to come into fruition, all of your thoughts of getting prosperity, anything that you're trying to accomplish. I just wish that you can have everything that you want, because you deserve it. You are a child of God. You are a wonderful light being, and I love you. So peace, and I'll talk to you soon.